Let's move on. And let's talk about Hard Eyes. So congratulations to Hard Eyes because I know a lot of you people out there who hate Spyglass. And here's the thing: you can hate on Spyglass, but the reality is the people that are involved with this movie, those are the ones that I'm rooting for. The actors, the filmmakers, the people, the crew, everybody that works behind the scenes on stuff that have to pay their bills. That's what people should be concentrating on instead of getting mad at a distribution group or a studio like Spyglass. So I know people are in their feelings still about Melissa Barrera, so they want everything that's under Spyglass's umbrella to fail. But you have to also realize Spyglass is not the only producers behind Hard Eyes. But what has been revealed is that Hard Eyes, which I was a little worried about because it did underperform a bit during its first week. However, the second week, it did something completely rare, which was it made a lot more money in its second week than its first week. And I think it was because it was Valentine's Day weekend. And look, Captain America Brave New World came out the same, it came out on Valentine's Day. But Hard Eyes came out the week before, but it's also still in theaters. And I think not everybody wanted to go see this movie. Not everybody wanted to go see Captain America Brave New World. So if you are in a relationship and you're a couple or whatever the case is, you're going to want to go see Hard Eyes. I forget what movie one of my friends, when I was hanging out with, his girlfriend was mad at him because he went and took her to go see some other movie that she was like, oh no, this movie's trash. I can't remember what it was. But I was like, no, you should have took her to see Hard Eyes because that's a good movie. I mean, it's a comedy and it's got some slasher stuff in it. I do feel like in certain parts it was the balance of it was a little off. Like I felt like especially in the middle part of the film, it focused a little too much on the comedy. They even have like a wardrobe change montage, like something out of like your typically like a Mean Girls, whatever the case is. So it kind of even had them. I'm like, y'all really going there with these rom-com tropes. And then at one point, I almost forgot, because the comedy aspect went on for so long, especially during the middle part of the movie. I almost forgot I was watching a horror film until we got the scene where Hard Eyes came out of the closet. I was like, okay, now, I almost forgot. I guess I did come here to pay for a slasher film. So basically, the reports it hasn't been a strong early year for theatrical horror movie releases. Usually, we get a Blumhouse banger, Megan, which comes out later this year, Megan 2.0, or Loser, and you couldn't pay me to watch No Imaginary. I heard that movie was one of the worst films of 2024, and I didn't even want to see it because I was like, this looks like crap. I ain't watching about no damn Imaginary Friend. I watched Deadly Friend before I watched Imaginary Friend. Remember that movie? That was done by Wes Craven and Christy Swanson before her ass went crazy. She was in it. Now, since Nosferatu held over from late December, which is actually coming out this week on Peacock, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. Perhaps that's why nobody wanted to secure an early slot for 2025. Also, January is pretty dry when it comes to horror, and that can often bleed into February. But Sony took a chance and released the Valentine's horror movie, Hard Eyes, and it paid off. Not only that, it was a genre mashup, a rom-com and a slasher. So shout out to Bloody Disgusting for this story. So it says it's incredibly rare for any movie to make more money in its second weekend of release than its first, but Spyglass and Sony's slasher Hard Eyes managed to do just that over the weekend. Now, topping its opening weekend domestic haul of $8.3 million, director Joss Rubin's Hard Eyes just scared up an additional $10 million in its second weekend at the U.S. box office. Now, positive word of mouth and strong reviews helped out there, but Hard Eyes' week 2 success can no doubt be largely attributed to this past Friday being Valentine's Day, which is what I said. The movie made $4.9 million on Valentine's Day alone, up from the debut Friday total of $3.7 million. Even this week's Sunday and Monday totals were higher than the previous week's Sunday and Monday hauls. Another holiday, President's Day, surely helped to boost the past Monday performance. So the full weekend 1 versus weekend 2 breakdown, it says weekend 1, Friday, February 7th, it made $3.7 million. February 8th, it made $3.3 million. February 9th, that would be a Sunday, $1.2 million. And Monday, February 10th, it made a gross of $740,085. Well, 85, 740 and comma 85. As y'all know, sometimes I be getting all drama with my damn numbers. So Now, weekend two, Friday, February 14th, which was Valentine's Day, $4.9 million. Saturday, February 15th, $3 million. And I know why y'all went on Valentine's Day, because y'all know y'all show somebody a rom-com and a slasher, you're definitely getting you're definitely getting laid when the movie's over. Sunday, February 16th, 1.9 million, and Monday, February 17th, 1.1 million. So yeah, it grossed more during its second week than its first, which I think is pretty awesome for a little slasher movie like Hard Eyes. And I love the overall look of Hard Eyes. I love the mask. I love the fact that the eyes light up. So if it's like it's dark, he could see, in what is it, like the like infrared and all other stuff. So it was like I thought like the overall look of him looked pretty cool. And I also loved the weapons. That they made their own weapons, especially my favorite was the knife with the brass knuckles. I was like, I love that. That was like a play on. There was this movie that came out back in the '80s that I absolutely love, and I really wish they would release a director's cut of it. It's called Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. I love that movie because it is kind of in so many ways a slasher film. And it's like this cult of serial killers, and there's a guy that has a knife, like a hunting knife with brass knuckles. And I think that's kind of like where they got the inspiration for this weapon. So I was like, he has pretty cool weapons in this movie. And I love the overall look of Hard Eyes. And I was like, even though, and as much as I love Screaming, this movie does take a lot from like the overall structure, takes from Scream even down to the killer reveal in the third act. It does take a bit from Scream. My issue with this movie was the reveal. And um with Scream, I kind of wish they would just like up the ante in regards of the Ghostface look. I hate that Ghostface look with the stupid little whole gown thing, and then the costume looks so Party City. So I wish they would have had like the only thing is like I love the Scream movies, but I just wish that the killer's overall aesthetic was just a little cooler, similar to like this overall look. But what I'm hoping with this film, since basically it said the total domestic take of For Hard Eyes is currently 22.5 million, with the film's reported production budget at 18. So it already made its budget back. So, but it'll also need to continue making money in the coming weeks in order to become profitable at the box office for Sony. So I don't know what with the budget being 18 million, how much money does it have to make? I would say, would enough be 50 million, or would it have to gross $100 million at the box office? I really think that the movie will do enough where we will actually get a sequel, because this movie definitely warrants a sequel. Basically, every Valentine's Day, the Hard Eyes Killer shows up and kills people, and he goes from city to city to go commit crimes. You can place this in any part of the world you want. You could do Seattle was the first movie. You could move to New York the next movie. You could do Chicago the next movie. You could do Minnesota the next. So you can always just move around, which I think is a cool concept for this movie. And anybody could pretty much be Hard Eyes. So you can play up the whole copycat killer type of thing, or whatever motive that you can come up with for each movie. So it lends itself to that. I just was in the third act, the killer was a better reveal. I just didn't buy into the whole reasoning on why they were doing what they were doing. And there were parts where I just felt like Hard Eyes was scary, but wasn't scary enough at times. And I think they went a little too heavy on the comedy rather than really giving us the horror that we wanted. And don't get me wrong, when the horror does kick in, we got some pretty cool, you know, murder sequences. There were some pretty gnarly kills that I was impressed with, which I'm sure was practical mixed with a bit of CGI. But for the most part, it's like, you know what? Should we get a sequel? And I'm sure we will. um, well, fingers crossed we will. I truly believe that they'll find the tone, and the movie will, they'll be able to work out the kinks that they weren't able to focus on in the first one. They'll do it for the second one. So shout out to Mason Gooding and Olivia Holt, who they have a hit. Y'all got a little hit on y'all hands. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Did you happen to see Hard Eyes? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Do you see the potential in a possible sequel? Are you happy that the movie's making money? I already know the Spyglass haters are gonna feel how they feel, but guess what? Regardless of how you feel about certain things, movies are gonna get made. So, and actors got to work, especially when there's slim pickings for a lot of people out here to get work any damn way. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.